Everybody knows the song, of course. Doesn't matter where you are, blah, blah. I know it! It's Disney's theme. At the moment, I'm a major Disney nerd. So, yay! Now, I kind of got bored and I was looking at some Disney videos, Disney memes, and all of that. I'm just going like, I was thinking, on how Disney was played with Snow White because I saw see a corpse in the woods, kiss it. Yeah, so I will be explaining in this video why he actually it was symbolizing. So here it does say don't get it, but in the olden days, I finally actually realized this in health class when I watched it, this movie, and it's not. So bear with me, okay? Here we go. We're gonna start from the beginning. So Snow White, as you already know, is about a princess named Snow White, of course, who is declared the I can't speak. I'm so sorry. The fairest one of all by her stepmother's magic mirror. I know, right? Magic always existed in the world and blah 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 blah. um in the beginning, however, when we see Snow White for the first time, we don't see her looking as a. Now, this is where I get my first question popping in my head. Why was she dressed as a scullery maid? Scullery? I don't know what scullery is, but okay. She was dressed up as a scullery maid. She was cleaning the front doorsteps of a castle. And this shows that her stepmother treated her like crap. Really, really did. But the question comes into further on when her stepmother wants her to die. Because, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Snow White. I'm not saying the whole thing he says. I don't want to rhyme today really too much. But Snow White is the fairest one of all. She wants to kill him. Kill her. I called her. Shoot. This is a horrible first video, I know. But she automatically wants to kill her because of jealousy. Forms up inside her. She's been working her whole life to be this beautiful thing. And lo and behold, you don't know where her father is or anything at all, but you see her get even more jealous and more angry when she sees the prince at her doorstep singing to Snow White. And she's like, good gosh, I don't even know this guy. Who the heck? But it still brings the question is why is Snow White seen on the beginning of the cover and the beginning of the thing in that blue, red, and yellow dress? The blue top that's all nice and tight with the puffy shoulders and the beautiful little yellow skirt. It's a German dress, so it's beautiful, I know. And that must have been very expensive to show she was a princess. And it also has a black cape with the red inside. But the question still remains is that if she had that, why on earth was she dressed as a scullery maid? Dang it, I did it again. Scullery maid cleaning the front doorsteps. Her stepmother gave her that dress, in my mind. This is my little theory. Her stepmother knew was going to kill her anyways, no matter what. But she was still her daughter in her mind, though it stepdaughter it may be. So this was her goodbye present. There's a reason why Snow White was sent out to pick flowers and do something that she loved, while the huntsman was supposed to kill her. This theory shouldn't be too hard to actually see that the stepmother, though she treated Snow White like crap, Snow White did everything that she was asked. Snow White cleaned, Snow White worked, Snow White did everything that she was needing, that she was told to do. I cannot speak today, I'm so sorry. But that she was told to do by her mother after her father died. So, with that in mind, her stepmother did have a little bit of caring in there, and still a little bit of a sense of love and whatever. She wasn't completely all evil. She was going to kill her anyways, but she was the first time was not going to be by her own hand. It was going to be by someone else's while she was doing something that she loved, dressed in something beautiful to show that she was a princess and was of royal blood and wasn't going to die out of Well, she was going to die out of distaste. But she wasn't going to die in a scullery maid outfit. She wasn't going to die looking awful. And she wasn't going to die cleaning the floors or whatever. That's why she was so happy when she was picking the flowers and everything. So there's that. We're all on the same page, and I've wasted 5 minutes of your time, apparently. Good God. Well, 5 minutes, basically 6 now. But there's that. The huntsman wasn't able to kill him, though, because even though the jester was a little bit nice, not really, was a little bit nice with her being in the dress, her picking the flowers, so he would go up and go, bam, stab her in the back, bye-bye. He couldn't do it because Snow White was kind, and most likely was one of his only friends. As I said earlier, Snow White was dressed up as a scullery maid, which means she probably only hung out with the servants. Now, you've seen this in other Snow White movies as well, like Mirror, Mirror. She's dressed up in all this and she stays in the tower in that one, but she's friends with the maids and all the other people who work there. So that's the exact same thing here. She was most likely great friends with the huntsman. And the huntsman, knowing how kind and good-hearted she was, let her go free. And so we already know that. Of course we know that. Next thing that we know is that she's running through the woods. Of course she's scared. Anyone would be scared. And anyone would be seeing things like that in the woods. You want to go like, oh my gosh, I was almost just killed. Run through the woods. Run. You're going to imagine him being right behind you. Even though he's the one that let you go, she was imagining him or people that were going to come out to kill her even more. That's why you also saw her later in the woods crying on the ground. She was about to accept her fate of death. She realized it was just animals, and the animals were very helpful. I really wish we had animals like that and just do everything that we needed. That'd be really, really nice. Very nice in my mind. Wouldn't have to pick up a dustpan again. Well, she did help them, so there's that. And this part, my theory is that when you find shelter, and it's not your home and all, but you're scared to death. You see this in horror movies as well, and we don't question it much. You will run into the building. It's shelter, it's supposed to be safe, it's supposed to be secure. I mean, look around me. I'm in my bedroom at the moment, blah, blah, blah. But when you look around me, I'm in my home. I feel safe, I feel secure. You see a little cottage and all that in the woods. You see a shelter that can keep you safe. Now, she cleaned it up because, honestly, you know that no one's there. You see all this stuff, you'd honestly think it's abandoned. And if it was dirty and dusty like that, I would clean it too. That's because I was kind of raised in a very clean family, though. So she went on pure instinct and survival instinct. Now, it was obvious that there were people still living there, but they were just dirty slobs, and that was the 7 dwarves. They're men, so. And honestly, no offense, guys. You guys can be clean freaks as well, but most of you, when you're my age, you're a mess. And I have had to help clean a room more than once when I went over to a house. But here's the thing. She cleaned it, and the dwarves, they were not too pleased about it. I mean, no one's going to be pleased. It's trespassing. They were going to kick her out and all of that. But here's the thing. You do the exact same thing when someone does it to you. And here's their reaction. They heard about the queen. Grumpy's the only one that had sense, and he was going, she's gonna come after her, she's gonna come after her, magic's gonna kill her, blah, 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 blah. He warned them. And he was right. The queen did come after them, but not quite them, just Snow White. The queen actually waited for the dwarves to leave. So, I'm getting ahead of myself, though, sorry. But the dwarves were accepting once they heard Snow White's story. And Snow White offered to cook and to clean and to do everything around the house while they were gone. She offered to pull her own weight. And we do the same, girls. Don't you dare deny it. we're in dire need, you want a place to stay, and you find someone helping that's going to be able to help you, you just got to do a few things to do that. As long as it's not them wanting more than they should, like no RAPE. I don't want to say the word. This is going to be a nice little cute kid thing for kids to watch. So parents and all that, you should know what that spells. Kids, you ever say that and all that, you will get spanked by your parents. I will tell you that right now. So, anyways, as I was saying, if they're willing to clean the house and cook the food, as long as you're good cooking and clean pretty well, and she could do both. So she was fine. Very, very fine. And she kept everything clean. I mean, she cleaned that house in a whole day. She had a whole bunch of animals to help her, but hey, I wish I could do that, and I got my siblings to help me, and that doesn't work. Whistle while you work. Nope, that doesn't work. Nope. Anyways, so with that, you have her having a nice, happy life. She's happy again. Now, the mirror reveals to the queen that Snow White is still alive. Didn't know why it took that long. Maybe because she was celebrating that she had a heart in a box that was supposed to be her daughter's. It was mourning the death of her daughter. The stepdaughter, sure, she was being nice before she asked again. She was doing what she thought was right. Though murdering your own kid is not the best idea, even if you say goodbye. So, that's my theory on why she waited so long to talk to the mirror. Because honestly, if she had no heart and was so cruel, the second she saw the huntsman and got the box back, she'd be right towards that mirror. And I don't think it would take a whole day to find a pig and carve its heart out and put it in a box. I really don't think it would take a whole day to do that. Maybe about 2 hours, maybe 3. But a whole day? That's a little risky. Makes you a little worried on what the heck's going on. And that box, by the way, let me get back to that box. The huntsman brought her a box that had a pig's heart in it. If you look at the box in the adornment, you see in Descendants 2 that Evie has a bag designed as the box and all. Well, here's the thing. That box didn't look cheap. That box looked very expensive. And we all know that a heart does not stay like a heart for long. It's going to go to dust real quick. Not real quick, but after like a couple days to a month. It's not going to be there. It's going to be decayed. It's going to be gone. It's going to be dead. That box was a little sarcophagus or whatever, a little coffin for the heart. Because the body's already going to be buried. She was going to put that heart in a special place somewhere. Don't know where, but it was supposed to be buried somewhere on the royal grounds. Home where it belonged. That didn't happen. Nope. But that's my theory on the box. She found out it was Pig's heart. She was all pissed off and everything. I mean, who wouldn't be? I was supposed to bury this box in the place where all the royals are buried. It has a pig's heart. Where the heck's my daughter? She's apparently still alive. Where is she? She gets told she's in the dwarves' cabin and all of that. Now, in the original story, she goes there 3 times. The Disney version, though, she only goes there once. And she's disguised as an old lady selling apples. Now, I would have thought it was suspicious with the one red apple with a bunch of green apples. Well, hey, here's the thing. She was actually doing something that would actually convince people of getting a red apple more than a green. Because if you have so many of one item, but only so few of another, and you say I've been selling apples all day, lots of people like to buy them. Here's the thing that they're going to think. Lots of people like red apples more than green. Common sense. And a green apple is usually a Granny Smith apple, which is a sour distaste. If Snow White is a sweet, kind girl, and the apple was disguised, a poisoned apple and all that, was disguised as a red delicious, or ruby red, or whatever, those are sweet. I know my apples, shut up. But they're sweet and they're delicious and they taste great. And she was making Snow White when the evil queen came to her in the disguise. She was making pie. I believe it was gooseberry pie. I can't remember the berry type pie. Don't know what a gooseberry is, but okay. But she was making pies, and she would make an apple pie, and that would be great. The seven dwarves would love that. I mean, she could buy a ton of the Granny Smith apples if she wanted. You can make those really sweet if you want to. All you gotta do is get rid of the skin. Just use the actual apple part. But the skin's the best part, so. Anyways, apples are also a very known delicacy in my mind in Germany, I think, because they don't always show up around certain areas. And back then, I guess it was a really good thing. I mean, when the story was made, I guess it was great. An apple was... It was sold commonplace in the market, but it would symbolize something, and I don't know what it symbolized, so... Yeah, that's what I've got. But with that as well, let's see. She picked out the apple that obviously she thought was selling the most and would taste the sweetest. And the queen also did another upsell, which was saying, bite into it and you'll make a wish. Snow White, meaning the guy in the beginning of the movie that you don't really see until the very end, makes a wish of seeing him again. Well, she gets that wish granted, I will admit. The Sleeping Death does grant her a wish, and that is to meet her true love. Linda brought the queen's plan down. So, there's that. Later on in the film, you obviously know she eats the apple, the seven dwarves come home because the animals come and get them and tell her she let a stranger in, weirdly, and they chase the evil queen all the way up to a hill. She tries killing all the dwarves by knocking down a rock. Backfires on her to her falling off the cliff itself and the rock toppling down on her, and the vultures feasting on her dead corpse because they aren't ones that hunt exactly. They are scavengers. They will go after something that's already dead for their meal. The queen is dead in the end of that movie. Obviously, you think Snow White's dead. She's asleep. It's called the Sleeping Death. And in all honesty, I would have thought she died a long time ago because you see the dwarves don't have the coffin lying around. While they are waiting and while they are watching her and all of that, my guess is that they designed it especially for her because she was dead for a while. She was asleep for months and months. It even says so in the little writing on the little screen. And you watch in the background that the tree lost its leaves, the snow landed on it, and then the snow melted away, turned to cherry blossoms and more leaves. Well, just cherry blossoms. We didn't get to leaves quite yet. But you know it's spring. And there are flowers being laid all around her coffin again. My dog is being whiny. Come here, Cole. Hi. You guys are... He's the big old fuzzball who always loves attention, and he's whining because I'm making the video. Oh, kisses. Silly boy. Cole. Anyways, so here comes the prince's little fun hero of the day scene. Yay! Now we don't know the prince's name. I'm trying to get my dog on the other side of the bed. Light up. Good boy, Cole. Now, you all wonder, why on earth would you go up and kiss a girl who's dead? Because honestly, I think she'd be dead by this point as well. So here's the thing. I'm going to switch to a different movie. I cannot remember the name of the movie for the life of me, but I do know what it's about. It's about this girl. Now, this movie is very, very old. It's in black and white for how old it is. So it's around the same time as Disney was around and all. But this girl, she had multiple personality disorder. And the way it started, the reason why it started is because she had to kiss her great-grandmother after she died. right after she found a small little blue cup. Now, here's what the kiss actually symbolizes. You kiss someone when they are dead to say goodbye. Hence why the prince comes up and says, "Let me say goodbye." They removed the coffin's top so he could kiss her goodbye. That's the thing. And all the dwarves probably did it as well. I mean, a kiss on the cheek, on the forehead, on the lips, whatever. A kiss was a kiss, and it was goodbye no matter what. Now, it wasn't. Now, his kiss was on the lips, and True Love's kiss, yes, broke the sleeping curse. I swear I should have already been dead. But, the sleeping curse could only be broken with True Love's kiss. It says so in the movie a million times. The prince truly loved her because he went searching for her when he found out, oh, she's not in the palace anymore. What happened to my princess? Didn't know you could tell she was a princess because she was dressed as a scullery maid, but okay. And my guess is that they probably did have meetings before she was sent to be killed by the huntsman. We just never got to see that. So, the prince, loving Snow White truly and deeply, a loved one, especially if a wife or a girlfriend dies and all that, in that past, if you truly did love them, you would kiss them goodbye on the lips. And the reason why you would do that is because it symbolized that you loved and cared and will truly deeply miss them. And that they were the best things in your life. Now, go doing that now, because then that's going to be little creepy. A lot of people just kiss their hand and sleep well. The kiss also represents you sleeping in peace. It's supposed to symbolize that he found her and he was too late, and that he was apologizing for not coming in time. He came in time, thankfully, because the kiss woke her up. That's a bonus, so he didn't have to lose her completely. But True Love's kiss, when he did that was supposed to symbolize all of that in little itty bitty piece. And I didn't think about that. I was really weirded out by that when I was younger. I'm like, why would you kiss a dead person? Now, I didn't know she was dead, but when I got older, of course, I'm going like, she died in the... She was asleep. She was figured dead by the dwarves and said she died. Why on earth would you kiss her on the lips? So when I watched that movie last year and all of that, it kind of just occurred to me now about the whole thing. But when I watched that, it's just like, that makes a lot more sense. Once you woke up, of course he's overjoyed. Of course he's excited, and he doesn't waste a chance. He has looked everywhere for her, of course, and he proposes right off the bat. So that's Snow White. That's my theories on Snow White, and that's the whole story and all that, and how things that were confusing worked. Now, this is my first video and all on the whole Disney theory thing, and it's not as great as everybody else's. I mean, I couldn't do the whole Nightshade berry trick that another guy did. I can't remember his name. Or I'm not as great as other people. In fact, I'm showing my actual face. But there are so many theories that you could go on that it's actually really cool, and it's really simple when you put it into real life perspective. And I completely skipped over a fact with the witch. So we remember the whole little story thing about how we believe the evil queen was a witch because she goes downstairs into her laboratory and all that, mixes up her brew. Yeah, bring up real things into it. A witch in the past was someone who knew their herbs, a girl who was a scientist. Think of Pirates in the Caribbean, the newest one. I can't think of the stupid name. I've watched it only once. But when you think about it, she knew her astronomy. She knew how to calculate problems. She knew how to do all that. She was called a witch for it. That's exactly what happened in the past. The queen was that type of witch. She knew her herbs. She knew what would happen, what could change her skin, dye her hair, do all this only temporarily. Don't know how she would use what she'd use to fix it. Hell, I should go and find her laboratory and find out myself. She looked really good, honestly. And she dipped onto a little bowl thing and just like, oh, hey, look. Of course, there's death written all over it. But she was a scientist. She's someone who knew her chemicals, or she would also be known as an herbalist. Someone who knew her herbs, drinks, things that wouldn't kill her, but things that could kill others. Could be very lethal to people in today's age. That's bringing reality with it. Magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? The mirror replied, I don't have a theory much for that one. That one's gotta be obvious magic, honestly. But and as well as the kiss, that's magic as well. True love's kiss will break any spell. So there's still magic in there, because I can't put those in reality unless you want to. Unless she was looking at mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And her squire was in the background going like, "You are my lady," and he fell in love with Snow White and went, "She is my lady. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go after her." Yeah, no, that would make no sense. So there's actual magic in Snow White. There always will be. But anyways, as I said and all that, story ends. Snow White and the prince get married. Hooray! 7 dwarves are at the wedding. Yay! The queen is dead. I almost did a Wizard of Oz joke, but I don't think that's a good idea. Plus, as the whole story goes, you already know it's a happy ending. And it's always great with that. Now, I gotta go because I am hungry and it's dinner time. So, love you guys. Have a great day and continue watching Disney because it's always great to watch. Bye. How do I stop this? I don't do live videos that much. I think it just... There we go. Bye. Why won't it work? My phone hates me. Yes. Okay.